What's the biggest thing that you think you've learned about your team in these last really 2 games where you've seen really tight contest in the fact that your girls have been able to keep it close and obviously pulled out the first one, the second one not so much?
Well, we're still in a process because we of the 3 games that we've been fortunate enough to play, only one have we had our full team. And that's 2021 season in a nutshell. And the night that we had everybody and we were able to rotate kids in and out, put specific people on the floor, played pretty well here at home against Evansville. And then, we get to Indiana State, we're down a key component to our team. And she was definitely missed. I mean, our rebounding effort wasn't as good. We weren't able to keep them off the offensive glass as much as I would have liked. Our first quarter starts are what's really hurting us right now. We're not locked in. We don't have enough energy at the beginning of the game, and that's on me. So the one thing I've learned about this team is when we put all the pieces together, I think we have a chance to be pretty good. But as long as we're going through situations where we don't have them all, next man's got to step up. So we've got to have some bench points come in. We had a ton of bench points in the Evansville game, not so much in the Indiana State game. So we've got to find the ability to get some scoring and some energy off the bench.
Do you expect Hannah McKay to be available this week?
No, she will not be in the Mississippi Valley game. We're hoping to get her back and get her back in the flow of things. Hopefully she can be with us at North Alabama.
What was your biggest takeaway from the Indiana State game? I mean, clearly you look at 2 great stat lines in Caitlin Young and Macy Turley, but you've already alluded to it a little bit. Didn't get a ton after that. But what was your biggest takeaway from a game like that in their arena?
Well, I think, on the road we're going to have the ability to put together 4 quarters because I think 3 quarters we were pretty good. But we put ourselves in a hole early and have to use so much energy and effort to fight our way back. We took the lead off really good execution there at the start of the second half, and then we got away from it. And, we've got to continue to do the things that help make us successful, but we have to be able to get stops. I mean, we score 80 points, you expect to win the game, but we gave up 84. So defensively, we've still got to get better, and we've got to be able to string together multiple opportunities for us to score the basketball and get stops so that we can play with the lead instead of playing from behind. But I think that's one thing that's going to be the telltale of this season for us if we can be a different basketball team and win on the road. I was disappointed with the loss. There was a lot of good things that came out of that game, but, we have got to turn the page and be able to win those games on the road.
How close are you, do you think, to getting back to full strength and having all the players that you need to be able to put forth, your complete team, what at least you hope is a complete team in 2020?
Well, I'm not sure. That's a tough question because we don't know for sure. I mean, we just found out 5 minutes before I came in here that we have the players that we have available to play. So, I mean, that's the thing. There's adjustments on the fly with all the testing, so you don't know for sure who you're going to have, sometimes up until the day before. I think it's going to take a while because the kids that do have to miss, unfortunately, because of protocols, it takes a while for them to get back. I mean, when you sit and aren't able to keep your cardio up for so many days. So I'm not sure it won't be till after the first of the year when we finally get to where we put multiple games together where we have our entire personnel and everybody has the opportunity to get themselves back in playing shape.
How much does the fact that you have girls on this team that have been there, done that before, help in that aspect to where you do have somewhat of a seasoned team right now because they have been through the battles before. And so when you're having to plug and play certain players, you should be okay in certain aspects.
Yeah, there's nothing you can exchange for experience. And we have players that can play multiple positions, and that's something that we are going to rely on heavy. But we still are playing a lot of kids with very limited Division I experience. Even our JUCO transfers, they're only going to be 3 games into a Division I basketball, and we have some freshmen that are really doing a good job for us, but it's just going to take some time to get them ready to compete. And again, learn how to win. Winning is not something that just happens. You have to learn how to win, and you have to be able to put the things together that you have to do as a basketball team to win games. And it's still early in that process, but unfortunately, we don't have 11 non-conference games to get ourselves ready for that. So we have to use these next 2 games to get ourselves prepared and ready for whatever may happen, whoever we may have, but find a way to win the games that we need to win.
Coach, I know it's a tough question, but 11 missed free throws and 21 turnovers. How are those 2 things? How do you take those 2 nuggets from the Indiana State loss and move forward with that as a teaching moment for your team?
Well, those are stats that good teams don't do. Good teams make great teams make free throws. They take care of the basketball, and that's why we're not a great team right now. We're still making mistakes and hurting ourselves as much as any other team has hurt us thus far. A lot of those turnovers are unforced. They're just mental mistakes that we make trying to force the issue. And then free throws, that's an individual thing. I mean, you don't want to harp on it to the point that it becomes a stigma in their head, but you also have to be able to take care of business when you get fouled and get to that free throw line. So right now, those 2 stats are one thing that keeps us from being where we need to be at this point.